April exports surged nearly 50% year-on-year, propelled by an ongoing semiconductor supercycle, signaling resilience in the trade-dependent economy despite geopolitical risks stemming from the Middle East conflict.
지난달 우리나라 수출이 반도체 슈퍼사이클에 힘입어 전년 같은 기간보다 50% 가까이 급증하면서 무역 의존도가 높은 한국 경제가 중동 전쟁이라는 지정학적 악재에도 좋은 흐름을 유지하고 있는 것으로 나타났습니다.
Yeah, I was going to say crisis, but it's conflict, and they're both acceptable here.
Or war, we could say.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. But going back to the story here, a new month means new trade figures here in Korea. According to the Ministry of Trade, Industry, and Resources, exports here rose 48% in April to nearly $86 billion, much of that due to a rise in outbound shipments of semiconductors, jumping 173%, nearly tripling to more than $31 billion last month. On the other hand, auto exports, another key sector for the economy, dropped 5.5% to just over $6 billion. On the flip side, imports also increasing about 16.7%. That means a trade surplus for the 15th straight month of just under $24 billion.
The word supercycle appears in the headline. This is an economy term. 경제 용어로 이제 슈퍼사이클 하면은 장기간에 걸쳐 상승세를 이어가는 그런 호황을 얘기하잖아요. 그것이 계속 우리의 semiconductor industry가 보여주는 모습입니다. 그래서 수출 소식이 뭐 여러 가지 지정학적인 악재에도 불구하고 계속해서 이렇게 좋은 소식이 들어오고 있네요. Let's have a look at signaling resilience.
Yeah, so resilience, we're talking about the strength, the recovery and the ability to sort of continue despite having difficulty. And if you're signaling it, you're showing or communicating that.
보여주는 것을 signaling이라고 합니다. 시그널 있잖아요. 시그널 자체가 어떤 표시지만 동사일 때는 보여주다. 무엇을 보여주는지는 뒤에 붙입니다. Signal resilience. 그래서 회복 탄력성을 보여준다. 우리나라 경제 얘기가 될 수도 있겠지만 좀 더 구체적으로는 반도체 얘기가 되겠습니다. 여러 악재에도 불구하고 이게 주저앉지 않는 모습이죠. What about stemming from something?
Yeah, so if you think about a plant or a flower, there's a stem and underneath there's the root. So if something stems from something, it's explaining the source or the sort of root cause of something.
자, 이것도 마찬가지로 원래 명사 stem, 줄기라는 게 있다면은 동사 stem from이라는 것은 무엇에서 비롯된다 라는 뜻이에요. 그러니까 아마 꽃 같은 거 연상하면 될 것 같아요. 그 꽃이 어디서 왔느냐? 이 줄기에서 왔다. 이런 정도의 느낌으로 외우시면 될 것 같습니다. 그래서 stem from the Middle East conflict 그러면은 중동 지역의 이 분쟁 상황으로 인해서 지금 여러 가지 악재들이 있는 거죠. 그럼에도 불구하고 반도체 상승세, 또 우리나라 수출이 또 좋은 기록을 보이고 있습니다. 자, 다시 읽어볼게요. April exports surged nearly 50% year on year, propelled by an ongoing semiconductor supercycle, signaling resilience in the trade-dependent economy, despite geopolitical risks stemming from the Middle East conflict. Let's move on to the second headline.
A survey by the National Center for the Rights of the Child finds that both Korean children and adults agree children are entitled to the right to play, yet many children say they are unable to fully enjoy it, mainly due to a lack of time.
아동권리보장원이 실시한 조사에서 우리나라 아동과 성인 모두 아동의 놀 권리가 필요하다는 데는 동의했으나 아동 응답자의 많은 수가 놀 권리를 보장받는데 가장 방해되는 요인으로 놀 시간의 부족을 꼽은 것으로 집계됐습니다.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Yeah, so this survey surveyed minors and adults, and they gave an average of about 3.21 out of 4 when they were asked how much they think children are granted their due rights. But when they were specifically asked about a child's right to play, that score actually dropped. And what that means is that Koreans believe children are entitled to the right to play, but even though it's not actually granted to them. And most respondents also agreed that the rights outlined in the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child regarding children's right to play as well, very, very high, but in actuality, that's not really happening, it seems.
그러니까 누구나 아동의 놀 권리가 있다라는 것은 다 동의하고 있지만 실제로 그러면 그렇게 충분히 노느냐는 또 다른 문제라는 거죠.
And if you break it down between adults and children, children and adults both say the lack of time, like the headline said, is the main reason. But for children and minors, the second biggest reason was that adult intervention was the reason for that. So adults, on the other hand, the second highest reason was a low perception of the importance of playing rights, and adult intervention was third, according to adults.
그래요. 뭐 여러 가지 답변들이 있었는데, 그러면은 왜 이렇게 충분히 놀지 못하느냐에 대해서 아이들은 놀 시간 부족이 1위였고요. 그 다음으로 어른들의 간섭이 문제다. 이게 2위였고, 3위로는 인식 부족. 이렇게 나왔는데, 어른들의 답변은 순서가 약간 달랐어요. 어른들도 사실 이제 놀 시간 부족이 1위로 꼽히기는 했는데, 2위가 인식 부족, 3위가 어른들의 간섭이다. 이렇게 보고 있습니다. 이 설문조사는 1,000명 이상의 초등학교 4학년부터 고2 사이에 아동이라고 부르고 있는데, 이제, 청소년과 어린이들, 그 다음에 성인 한 800명 이상, 이렇게 해서 설문조사가 실시가 됐습니다. Alright, so if you're entitled to something, what does that mean?
Yeah, entitled. E-N-T-I-T-L-E-D means you have the right to do something. You can talk about this in legal terms, but also there's a negative sort of definition to being entitled to something, meaning that you deserve special treatment, perhaps, right?
Yeah, if you say, oh, that kid is so entitled, that means they feel like they need special treatment.
Right.
But they don't.
Right. Or you could say someone has a sense of entitlement, right?
yeah. 그렇게 표현할 수도 있죠. 명사, entitlement. 그럴 때는 지금 말한 것처럼 부정적인 뉘앙스로, 본인이 남들보다 더 좋은 대우를 받아야 된다고 착각하나 봐. 이런 뉘앙스로 얘기를 많이 하기는 하거든요. They have a sense of entitlement. They're so entitled. 이렇게 하면은. 그렇지만 원래 단어 자체가 부정적인 단어는 아니에요. 이건 뭐냐면 뭐뭐 할 자격이 있다. 뭐뭐 받을 자격이 있고 권리가 있다라는 뜻이에요. 그래서 말 그대로의 의미로 여기서 아동은 놀 권리가 있다. Children are entitled to play. Or entitled to have the right to play. 이렇게 표현할 수도 있겠죠. 자, 그 다음에는 Not many children are able to play as much as they want because of a lack of time.
Yeah, L-A-C-K, a lack of time, meaning you don't have enough of something. In this case, we're talking about not enough time.
그렇죠. 시간 부족이 되겠죠? A lack of something. L-A-C-K는 부족이고요. lag, L-A-G 그러면은 이게 뒤처진다는 뜻이에요. 그래서 발음이 좀 비슷하죠. 그런데 다릅니다. lack. 탁 이렇게 떨어지는 느낌. 자, 다시 한번 읽어볼게요. A survey by the National Center for the Rights of the Child finds that both Korean children and adults agree children are entitled to the right to play, yet many children say they are unable to fully enjoy it, mainly due to a lack of time.
Spirit Airlines, the ultra-low-cost U.S. carrier that once operated hundreds of daily flights, has shut down after 34 years, citing soaring oil prices driven in part by the war in Iran as a key reason it could no longer stay aloft.
미국의 초저가 항공사로 한때 매일 수백 편을 운항했던 스피릿 항공이 34년 만에 폐업 수순에 들어갔습니다. 스피릿 항공 측은 이란 전쟁 등의 여파로 항공유 가격이 급등한 것이 운항 중단의 주요 원인이라고 설명했습니다.
Yeah, so there was, the announcement came as a surprise. There was an announcement on Saturday at 3 a.m. Eastern Time that flights are all going to be canceled. Operating, the telephone operators, the service line does not work anymore. And also the workers for Spirit Airlines also found this out overnight.
What?
Yeah,
Oh
so
my
we're talking
goodness.
about 17, there's 14,000 Spirit Airline employees, 17,000 if you include all the contractors as well. But the airline has been in a lot of trouble, financial trouble, the past couple of years. It's filed for Chapter 11 twice, I think, in as many years as well. The past couple of weeks, there were rumors that possibly the U.S. government sort of jump in and possibly salvage the company, but those talks fell through. And so it looks like this airline, this low-cost airline, is now going down in history.
So this announcement was made overnight.
Yes.
좀 갑작스러운 발표였다. 이렇게 볼 수 있는데요. 항공사 측에서 지난 토요일, 그러니까 바로 며칠 전에 일단은 모든 운항을 취소하겠다. 결항을 먼저 발표하고 그러고 나서 결항 정도가 아니라 사실은 우리가 폐업 수순에 들어갔다라고 발표하면서 많은 직원들도 놀랐다고 합니다. 상황이 정말 심각한 것 같네요. Okay, so when we say a carrier, we're talking about an airline company.
Yeah,
right?
specifically we use this in the airline industry a lot, I
맞아요.
think.
네, 항공사를 airline company 해도 되지만 carrier, C-A-R-R-I-E-R 이렇게도 많이 써요. 자, 그래서 why are they now saying goodbye? Well, it's driven in part by the war in Iran.
Yeah, so there's many reasons that this happened,
Yeah.
but one reason, there are multiple causes, but one reason would be, of course, soaring oil prices
Yes.
stemming from the Middle East.
Right. 그렇죠. driven by something 그러면은 이것이 원인으로 작용했다라는 뜻인데 in part라는 표현은요. 일부, 부분적으로 라는 뜻입니다. 그러니까 100%이 oil prices 때문은 아니지만 그게 큰 부분을 차지하는 거죠. 일부분이 그거다라는 얘기를 하기 위해서 driven by 사이에다가 in part를 끼워 넣었어요. So it's driven in part by oil prices or surging oil prices. And the company is no longer able to stay aloft. Now, this is a very curious expression because we don't normally say this in this
you could
situation.
You could say afloat as
Yeah.
well. They both mean similar things where aloft specifically means something in the air.
Yes.
It's suspended in the air like a plane, a bird, or a balloon. But figuratively, you can describe a business, for example, or an idea that's surviving or continuing.
Yeah. But more specifically, you would only reserve this expression to talk about a business operating if it has something to do with aviation, because the word itself has everything to do with the air. 원래 표현은요, 이제 stay afloat가 여기서는 자연스러운 표현이에요. stay afloat하고 stay aloft를 지금 간단하게 비교해 드리겠습니다. stay afloat는요, 물 위에 떠 있다. 수면 위에 떠 있다. 그 다음에 stay aloft라는 것은요, 공중에 떠 있다. 하늘에 그냥 붕 떠 있는 느낌. 공중에, 대기 중에 떠 있다. 자, 요런 차이가 있습니다. 원래 의미는. 비유적으로 썼을 때는 이제 더 이상 경영을 하기 힘들다 할 땐 더 이상 이제 수면 위에 있기 힘들다, 물속에 가라앉고 있다, 이런 느낌으로 it's no longer able to stay afloat를 쓰는 게 일반적인데 지금 이 회사는 어떤 회사예요? 항공사잖아요. 그러다 보니까 이 상황에는 이런 이제 variation을 좀 둬도 괜찮겠다라고 이제 기자가 생각한 것 같아요. 그래서 우리가 여러 가지 기사들을 참고해서 이렇게 헤드라인을 만들잖아요. 그래서 실제로 이렇게 이 표현이 쓰였습니다. 그래서 외신에서 쓰인 표현이었고 또 이렇게 쓸 수 있어요. 이 경우에 특수한 이런 경우에. 그러니까 다시 정리하자면은 원래는 경영난으로 더 이상 이렇게 회사가 운영하기 힘들다. 그러면 the company is no longer able to stay afloat. 그러니까 정상적이에요. 그러나 이렇게 air, aviation, 항공 이런 것과 관련된 것이라면은 약간 변형해서 afloat, aloft를 써도 다 이해해요. 딱 보면은 일부러 이렇게 썼구나. 이런 느낌이라고 보시면 되겠습니다. 자, 다시 한번 읽어볼게요. Spirit Airlines, the ultra low-cost US carrier that once operated hundreds of daily flights, has shut down after 34 years, citing soaring oil prices driven in part by the war in Iran as a key reason it could no longer stay aloft. All right, let's move on to the next headline.
Amsterdam has become the world's first capital to ban advertisements for fossil fuel products and meat as part of a broader initiative to discourage the consumption of goods linked to high carbon emissions.
네덜란드 수도 암스테르담이 세계 최초로 화석 연료와 육류 제품 광고를 금지했습니다. 이는 탄소 배출량이 높은 상품의 소비를 억제하기 위한 광범위한 시 정책 중 하나인 것으로 전해졌습니다.
Yeah, so based on this new law here, advertisements for things like airlines, again, cruises, faraway destinations are no longer allowed because they promote the burning of fossil fuels. They take a lot of oil and energy, and also ads for things like beef, chicken, pork, and fish because of the environmental harms caused by animal agriculture. Now, this only applies to public-owned properties in the city as well as public spaces like bus shelters, benches, trains, metro stations, of the like. Privately owned establishments and media like newspaper, radio, it's exempt from this law.
그러니까 공공장소에서는 앞으로 화석 연료와 관련된 광고, 그러니까 비행기, 아까 우리 항공사 캐리어 얘기도 했지만 이런 항공사와 관련된 광고 이런 거 볼 수 없습니다, 앞으로. 그다음에는 이제 육류 제품, 그러니까 햄버거라든지 이런 거 광고 공공장소에서는 이제 볼 수 없는 거죠. 그렇지만 이제 privately owned 사유지인 곳이라든지 개인적으로 소유하고 있는 그런 곳에서는 특히 이게 특별히 규제가 있지는 않으니까 여전히 광고를 할 수는 있겠지만 어쨌든 공공장소에서는 앞으로 볼 수 없게 됩니다. 다 환경을 생각한 조치네요. Alright, let's have a look at the term fossil fuel products.
Yeah, of course, fossil fuels are things like oil, coal, natural gas, and of course, fossil fuel products would be sort of materials and energy sources made from these things.
그래요. Fossil fuel, 화석 연료, products, 제품. And if you discourage someone to do something?
Yeah, it means you're sort of, someone's less motivated or less willing to do something if they're discouraged to do it, right?
그렇죠. Discourage something. 무언가를 하지 않는 게 좋겠어 라고 말하는 겁니다. 반대말은 encourage가 되겠죠. 할 수 있어 라고 할 때는 encourage someone to do something or just encourage someone. They discourage someone to do something or just discourage something. ing 형태로. 예를 들어서 people are discouraged to let's see. 뭐가 있을까요? 갑자기 생각이 안 나네요.
Drinking and driving.
Drinking and driving is discouraged.
Highly discouraged.
네, 주어를 아예 이거는 하지 않는 것이 좋습니다. 라고 하는 걸 주어로 놓을 수 있어요. 그래서 drinking and driving is highly discouraged. 이거는 사실 근데 discouraged 정도가 아니라 그냥 하면 안 되죠. 근데 또 다른 것도 있을 수 있습니다. Speaking on public transportation or speaking loudly on public transportation is discouraged. 그러니까 하면 안 되는 것까지는 아니지만 안 하는 게 좋죠.
Right.
대중교통 탔을 때 우리가 너무 큰 소리로 얘기하는 것은 그렇게 좋진 않죠.
No.
So you're discouraged to do that. To do 이렇게도 쓸 수가 있군요. 말하다 보니까 네, there are many different forms of this verb that you can use to discourage someone from doing something or discourage something 이렇게 표현할 수도 있고요. 자, 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. Amsterdam has become the world's first capital to ban advertisements for fossil fuel products and meat as part of a broader initiative to discourage the consumption of goods linked to high carbon emissions. Here's our final headline.
A study finds that adopting the simple dietary habit of frequently eating eggs can significantly help prevent dementia, reducing the risk of developing the condition by up to 27% compared to those who do not consume them.
달걀을 자주 섭취하는 간단한 식습관으로도 치매 예방에 크게 도움이 된다는 연구 결과가 나왔습니다. 이에 따르면 달걀을 먹는 사람은 그렇지 않는 사람에 비해 치매 발병 위험성이 최대 27%까지 감소한 것으로 나타났습니다. Okay, this is interesting.
Yeah, so researchers in the U.S. looked at 40,000 adults over a period of 15 years, and the results showed that individuals who ate eggs 1 to 2 times a month had a 17% lower risk of dementia. That increased to 20% if you consume eggs 2 to 4 times a week. And if you eat 5 or more times a week eggs, the risk goes up 27%, or down 27%, I should say.
Oh, that's Almost every day.
Yeah, almost every day if you talk about 5 or more times a week. Yes.
All right. Dementia. 치매를 얘기하고 있는 건데요. 이렇게 달걀을 먹으면 어떤 영향이 있는지 15년에 걸쳐서 4만 명을 관찰하면서 미국에서 연구를 진행했습니다. What's a dietary habit, Shane?
Yeah, dietary habit would be sort of the regular pattern of what and how someone eats, right?
Yeah, 식습관이 되겠네요. And what about developing a condition?
Yeah, that means you begin to have a sort of disease or a health problem over time. Usually not suddenly, right? When you say develop.
네, 어떤 질환이 생기는 것이 이제 developing a condition인데요. 여기서는 앞에 이제 dementia가 언급이 한번 됐기 때문에 부정관사가 아니라 정관사 developing the condition이라고 뒤에서 덧붙이고 있습니다. 자, 다시 읽어볼게요. A study finds that adopting the simple dietary habit of frequently eating eggs can significantly help prevent dementia, reducing the risk of developing the condition by up to 27% compared to those who do not consume them. Well, that's it for the headlines this morning.
Busan welcomed over 1 million foreign tourists in the first quarter of 2026, hitting the threshold in record time as the city strengthens its position as a premier Asian destination through expanded maritime and cruise tourism.
부산이 해양 및 크루즈 관광 확대를 통해 아시아 인류 관광지로서의 입지를 굳혀감에 따라 올해 1분기 부산을 찾은 외국인 관광객 수가 역대 최단 기간 100만 명을 돌파하는 기록을 세웠습니다.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. Last year it took 4 months, took till April. This year a month ahead, 1 million or 1.02 million foreign tourists just in the first quarter. It's great news for Busan, and it's really interesting. I would never have guessed it, but the biggest number of people are coming from Taiwan.
Yeah.
That is 208,984 visitors. They're 20% of the visitors to Busan so far this year. And it does seem to be all about the cruises, all about the boats. That's a big thing with global cruise ships coming in. And also the new thing is passengers flying into Incheon, taking the KTX to Busan and then getting on a cruise from there. Wow. So it seems to be a big cruise hub. Lots of tourists coming in from China. We'll have to see how it goes, but it's great news for businesses there.
Exactly. 대만 관광객이 가장 많았고요. 국적별로 봤을 때. 그다음에 이제 크루즈 이용객들도 상당히 많았는데 아무래도 수도권에 먼저 도착을 해서 그다음에 KTX를 타고 부산에 가는 경우도 상당히 많았습니다. 자, 100만 명 돌파. 작년에는 4월 달에 돌파했다고요? 근데 이번에는 3월.
Yes.
자, 그러면 한번 표현을 볼까요? Strengthening its position as something.
Well, if we strengthen something, we make it better or we make it stronger.
Right.
And our position is when we're talking about, for example, as a business in the marketplace, as a competitor in a race or any kind of sport, we talk about making our status better, making our status stronger, being better than we were before. So if you see someone or something strengthening its position, it's doing better than it was before.
Position in this case, it means the status of Busan.
Yes.
근데 it can be your own sort of opinion or your own stance, depending on how you use it.
Absolutely, but when we're competing against others, I think if you're an F1 fan, a racing fan, you may have heard of pole position when you're in first place.
That would be the rank.
Yes.
자, position이라는 게 이렇게 부산의 경우 부산의 입지가 될 수도 있고요. 우리 개개인의 경우에는 우리의 입장이 될 수도 있고 아니면 F1 포뮬러 1에서는 랭킹이 될 수 있습니다. 순위요.
Yeah, but for me, I get the feeling it can be linked to ranking here.
yes,
Because it's the premier
그러네요.
Asian destination. So it's the number one in this case.
아하. 그래서 그런 입지를 굳히는 거. To strengthen your position. What's premier?
It's not when people arrive on the red carpet to see a film for the first time. That's another meaning of the word premiere.
That's spelt differently too. You have another E at the end.
In the UK. I believe in the US it's only spelt with the R at the end.
Let me just double check.
Sue is checking this because she doubts me. Okay,
but
that's fine.
Please do continue.
Premier, spelt this way, can also mean the Prime Minister, the leader of a country. But in this case, we're talking about it being the best, the top, the most excellent, the number one again.
그래요. Yes, so premier with no E at the end refers to the best or the top ranked, which is what it means here. 그래서
Yes.
프리미어 리그라고 할 때도 그 최고의 축구 선수들이 같이 그냥 시합을 하는 거죠, 영국에서. 근데 이제 프리미어가 아니라 premier with an E at the end means sort of a public performance or show. 그래가지고 보통 헐리우드에서 하는 아니면은 영화관에서 하는 그런 프리미어는 E가 붙는 걸로 제가 알고 있거든요.
Yes,
그렇게 일단
I'm
나와
happy
있긴
to be
한데.
wrong.
네네.
I am wrong sometimes, and I'm happy that Sue will pick me up on it.
You are still the premier English teacher that we have.
You mean I'm better than Karen and Ray and
For a
Jason
Tuesday.
and Shane?
You're better than
I'm better than all of them. Thanks,
me.
Sue.
Just me. No, I can't compare you to anyone else.
I'm in pole position.
자, premier라는 게요. P-R-E-M-I-E-R 최고의 라는 뜻입니다. 자, 다시 한번 읽어볼게요. Busan welcomed over 1 million foreign tourists in the first quarter of 2026, hitting the threshold in record time as the city strengthens its position as a premier Asian destination through expanded maritime and cruise tourism. Now let's move on to the second headline.
Nearly half of upper grade elementary school students use smart mobile devices for more than 2 hours a day after school, according to a survey by the Korean Teachers and Education Workers Union.
전국 교직원 노동조합 조사에 따르면 우리나라 초등학교 고학년 2명 중 1명은 방과 후 2시간 이상 스마트폰이나 태블릿 등 스마트 기기를 사용하는 것으로 나타났습니다. So screen time.
Yes, 49.2% of these kids are spending more than 2 hours.
Right.
2 to 3 hours, it's 21.1%. 3 to 4 hours, it's 15.9%. And for more than 4 hours, it's 12.2% of those kids. And as they get older, they're using the phones or the devices for longer. Only 4.7 of them said they do not use smart devices after school. So it seems like a lot of children are spending time on a tablet or a phone. And what's interesting is 7 in 10 of them said that they use generative AI. So it seems like a lot of children are getting involved with the AI trend.
Absolutely. 인공지능도 많이 이용하고 있고요. 그거는 뭐 당연한 그런 추세라고 생각이 되는데 이 4, 5, 6학년, 초등학교 고학년 한 2,800명을 대상으로 정교조가 지난달에 설문조사를 실시했습니다. 그랬더니 말씀해 주신 것처럼 절반 정도가 방과 후에 2시간 이상 이 스크린 타임을 갖는다라고 응답을 했답니다. 근데 그것보다는 사실 좀 우려스러운 건 뭐였냐면은 10명 중 4명이 이 스마트 기기 사용을 멈추는 게 너무 힘들다라고 했대요. 그래서 사용하는 것 자체보다 사실 멈추는 게 힘들다. 저는 이제 부모로서 요 부분이 조금 더 눈에 띄더라고요.
Yeah, I think it's a big danger, not just for children. Again, for adults, we do spend a lot of time
Exactly.
on our phones.
Yeah.
I'm always worried on a Sunday morning when my phone and my computer, a little announcement comes up telling me how many hours a day I spent on it.
Right. I mean, like you said,
Yeah.
it's difficult for us,
Exactly.
grown adults, to control ourselves sometimes. But for children, they don't have the ability to do that yet, which is why we have parental control apps.
Sure.
And we need to always, sort of monitor our children and make sure we know how much they're using their devices.
And more than that, they need guidance.
They do.
They need someone to help them
Yeah.
navigate the digital world and how much time is wise to spend and what to spend your time doing.
And in light of Children's Day, I do want to add, and this isn't just a personal experience, but I read theories about this, but
Yeah.
children thrive under a really good regulated system. If they
Absolutely.
know the rules and those rules stay and they stick, children can thrive. It's not like changing the rules all the time. That's
Yeah.
awful.
No,
But
it's why school works.
Yes,
it's one of
They
the great things
thrive.
about school is that we have, 8 a.m. you arrive, first
Yeah.
lesson starts at
Yes.
8:30 and so on.
children love rules.
Yeah, and love having these habits,
Yes.
these routines and rituals.
Yep.
So I mean, it's hard for all of us in a digital age to know how much time to spend here and there, but we need to pay attention to children and say, maybe like that school in Seoul, we should head out to the park to spend time outside.
Yes, exactly. It's a group effort. I mean, we all need to work together. It's not just the kids that need to make an effort.
Oh, me too. I know
Yeah.
that I need to reduce my device time.
그래요. 자, upper grade라는 표현 한번 볼까요?
Well, if it's upper, it's the opposite is lower. So we have 6 grades in elementary school. So upper will be the top 3.
Yes.
4, 5, 6 are the upper grades. 1, 2, 3 are the lower grades.
고학년이라는 의미로 upper grade라고 했고, what about smart mobile devices?
Well, I mean, you could just say phones, but there are also tablets and other things that might have different names. The point is, it's a machine that acts like a computer with a touchscreen and that you can carry around. So a smart mobile device is any of those sort of portable touchscreen computers.
거의 뭐 외래어로 우리가 다 이해가 될 것 같긴 한데요. 스마트 휴대용 기기들, smart mobile devices. 자, 다시 읽어보겠습니다. Nearly half of upper grade elementary school students use their smart mobile devices for more than 2 hours a day after school, according to a survey by the Korean Teachers and Education Workers Union.
OPEC Plus has agreed to raise oil production by 188,000 barrels per day starting next month, moving ahead with increased output in its first meeting since the loss of a key member, the United Arab Emirates.
석유 수출국기구 OPEC 플러스 7개국은 주요 회원국인 아랍에미레이트 탈퇴 이후 가진 첫 회의에서 생산량을 늘리기로 결정하고 다음 달부터 일일 산유량 18만 8천 배럴 증산에 합의했습니다.
This is very interesting because the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, was one of the big players in OPEC Plus. These 8 countries, now down to 7.
Yeah.
The ones left are Saudi Arabia, Russia, Iraq, Kuwait, Kazakhstan, Algeria, and Oman. It was the 3rd largest oil producer of the group, behind Saudi Arabia and Iraq. And it decided that it was going to exit for its own national interest. So now it's these 7 countries together. They've announced a slightly smaller increase in production compared to this month for June. There's still going to be a larger amount of oil, which is good for everybody. And we're seeing prices of oil falling a little bit by about 3% for crude oil futures. And, Brent crude, which is the international benchmark, lost about 2%. Still a lot higher than the start of the year, but better that the prices are going down.
Yes, exactly. 자, 이렇게 OPEC 플러스 7개국이 다음 달 6월부터요. 18만 8천 배럴의 그 일일 산유량 증산에 합의했다는 소식입니다. 자, 그러면 표현을 좀 볼 텐데요. They're gonna move ahead with this.
Shall I move ahead with this expression?
Please.
Which means I'll do it. I'll carry on. If we move ahead with something, we don't stop, we don't pause, we don't postpone or cancel, we keep going.
자, 그래서 move ahead with something이라고 하면은 계속 진행한다, 계속 추진한다 이런 느낌이라고 보면 되겠고요. 그다음에 뭐 계속이 꼭 아니어도 됩니다. 그래서 뭔가를 추진한다, 진행한다. 그다음에 loss of a key member.
Well, a key member is going to be an important member. With any group, it could be a boy band or it could be a group of countries. A key member is a member, if they leave, then there is a loss, there is a big change. And a loss of a member means they're gone, they're disappeared for whatever reason.
LOSS, loss라는 게 소실 아니면 잃어버림이라는 뜻이 있죠. 그래서 여기서는 key member, 주요 멤버가 주요 멤버 하나가 이제 없어졌다, 탈퇴했다라는 얘기를 하고 있는 겁니다. 자, 다시 한번 읽어볼게요. OPEC Plus has agreed to raise oil production by 188,000 barrels per day starting next month, moving ahead with increased output in its first meeting since the loss of a key member, the United Arab Emirates. 자, 그리고 오페크의 역사 등등에 대해서는 목요일 뉴스 커버리지에서 좀 더 자세히 다룰 예정입니다.
Are you going to move ahead with that story then?
Yes, indeed, we are
There we
going to
go.
do that. Yes, please tune in on Thursday for that.
And Wednesday too.
Well, for other things. Let's move on to the next headline.
More than 300 families have been evacuated in the Philippines after massive amounts of ash billowed from the Mayon volcano due to the collapse of lava deposits from its slopes.
필리핀 마yon 화산의 경사면으로 용암 퇴적물이 무너져 내리면서 엄청난 양의 화산재가 뿜어져 나오자 인근 300가구 이상의 주민들이 긴급 대피했습니다. What happened?
Well, the good news is no casualties.
Okay.
That's the most important thing. So yes,
Yes.
there have been evacuations, but there was no explosive eruption. So that's the good news. But the thing is, the Mayan volcano has been erupting here and there, little by little, since the start of the year. And what happened was there were large deposits of lava which flowed down like an avalanche. And that brought up all this ash that then billowed across the area, meaning that these villages, 87 villages in three towns, had to be evacuated. The issue is it's one of the big tourist draws of the region. Lots of people like to come because it's a beautiful volcano.
Right.
It's got this near perfect cone shape, but it's really, really active. So we shall see what happens, but certainly they've raised their alert level when it comes to the Mayan volcano this year. It's not at the most dangerous level, but certainly they're watching out.
네, 가장 중요한 것은 casualties가 없다는 거, 인명피해 없다라고 해서 참 다행입니다. 그럼에도 불구하고 이제 많이들 놀라셨을 텐데요. 필리핀에 있는 이 화산 분화로 인해서 한 5,000명 이상이 대피를 했었고 영향을 받은 사람들의 숫자만 놓고 보면은 한 20만 명 정도가 또 영향을 받기도 했습니다. 자, 그러면 한번 표현을 볼까요? Billow.
Yes, not what you rest your head on, which is a pillow. This is spelt with a B. And if something billows, well, it's going to be something that's made out of gas or made out of fabric. So, for example, smoke, or steam, or clouds, or sails billow. And it means they move because of the air, because of the wind. So if you've ever seen a factory, you'll see the factory chimney has smoke billowing out of it. You'll see a stream of smoke being pushed by the wind this way or that way.
연기 같은 게 뭉게뭉게 피어오르는 게 billowing인데요. 여기서는 화산재가 뿜어져 나온 걸 얘기하고 있고요. And if something collapses?
Well, it falls down or falls in on itself. We can have a person who collapses, meaning they fall to the ground, or a building that collapses, meaning it is destroyed as it falls in on itself.
그렇죠. 붕괴한다는 의미가 되겠죠. 다시 읽어보겠습니다. More than 300 families have been evacuated in the Philippines after massive amounts of ash billowed from the Mayan volcano due to the collapse of lava deposits from its slopes. And here's our final headline.
A comet formed on the edges of the solar system will grace the southern hemisphere skies over the next fortnight, offering a rare spectacle before it disappears from view for another 170,000 years.
태양계 가장자리에서 형성된 해성 하나가 앞으로 2주 동안 남반구 하늘을 수놓으며 보기 드문 광경을 선사할 예정입니다. 이 해성은 이후 17만 년 동안 다시 볼 수 없을 것으로 예측됐습니다. Wow, this is going to be, I guess, the comet of the lifetime, of our lifetime anyway.
Oh, sure. I mean, for those of us who were around in the early 80s, we had a Halley's Comet, or Halley's Comet.
Halley's Comet, yeah.
But yes, this seems to be big one. It doesn't have such a romantic name. It's called C/2025R3PANSTARRS.
Come again?
Well, C2025R3 Pan-STARRS.
Okay.
But it is going to be beautiful. We're not going to be able to see it. But
Right.
if you have people you know, or you happen to be in the southern hemisphere, like in New Zealand or Australia, South Africa.
South America.
Exactly. Anywhere along there, you've got 2 weeks. It's gonna get harder to see as its brightness decreases over the next 2 weeks, but it will be worth seeing.
Wow.
It takes 170,000 years to orbit the sun. It's a very long route it takes. But so it's your only chance.
남반구에 있는 국가들은 이 comet, 해성을 볼 수 있을 것으로 예상이 됩니다. It's gonna grace the sky.
I love this expression.
I
To
love it
grace
too.
somewhere, grace a party, grace a celebration, to grace the sky, meaning you appear. But it has the nuance of appearing in a fabulous, beautiful, graceful sort of way.
Yeah, exactly. Grace the skies라고 하면은요, 하늘을 수놓는다. 굉장히 시적인 표현이에요. We are graced with your presence today, Paul.
And with yours too.
이렇게 표현을 한다면은 서로 칭찬하면은 조금 이제 불편하고요. 어쨌든 이제 we are graced with your presence라고 하면 이렇게 자리를 빛내주셔서 감사합니다. 이런 뜻이 됩니다. 자, 그 다음에는 fortnight.
Yes, we'll be able to see it over the next fortnight, and a fortnight is 2 weeks.
Yes.
It's a term we use, Fortnight, not to be confused with the popular game for middle schoolers, high schoolers around the world, Fortnite.
Oh, is there a
That's
game
spelled
called?
Fortnite.
그렇군요.
Yeah, it's a
게임이
very
있어요?
popular game, but so be careful with your spelling.
그래요. 그거
And
아닙니다.
we shouldn't spend as much time playing games over the next fortnight.
그래요. 자, fortnight라는 것은 2주라는 뜻의 영어 단어입니다. Fortnight. 한 단어예요. 자, 다시 읽어보겠습니다. A comet formed on the edges of the solar system will grace the southern hemisphere's skies over the next fortnight, offering a rare spectacle before it disappears from view for another 170,000 years. And that's it for our headlines this morning.
A Korean expedition team has made mountaineering history by claiming the world's first ever ascent of the Himalayas' Sat Peak, a previously unclimbed mountain standing at over 6,200 meters high in Nepal's Kanchenjunga region.
한국 원정대가 네팔의 히말라야 칸첸중가 지역에 위치한 해발 6,200m 이상의 미 답봉 사트 피크를 세계 최초로 등정하는 데 성공했습니다. You know, I had trouble looking up information about Sat Peak because, first of all, you know, prior to this Korean expedition, no one had officially climbed it. And so there's very little information on it online, which was surprising because you get everything online.
Right.
But tell us more.
Okay. A Korean expedition team has made history, becoming the first to climb this, or first to climb to the summit of Sat Peak. It's a 6,220-meter unclimbed mountain in Nepal's Kanchenjunga range. It's a 7-member team. It's led by An Ji-young, and it reached the top on Saturday after opening a new route along the mountain's east and southeast faces, climbing in the traditional alpine style with minimal gear and no fixed ropes. The team completed the ascent in 5 days despite weather delays. The climbers are now descending and are expected to return home on May 10th. Officials say the achievement highlights the skill and resilience of Korean mountaineers.
Yeah. To put this into perspective, of course, Mount Everest is, I believe it's about 8,800 meters high. So in comparison, Sat Peak is not as high. However, it is a very dangerous, sort of treacherous area. It's very hard to climb, is what they say, which is why no one has actually reached the peak up to this point. And also, I think for other reasons as well, in order to protect the land, the local government has for some time not allowed people to climb this mountain. So for various reasons, people had not been able to get to the peak. To Sat Peak. But now, a Korean team has succeeded.
They are the first.
Okay, so let's have a look at an expedition.
Expedition. So expedition is, it's like a group with a purpose. It's an organized journey or a voyage, and it's, like I mentioned, usually undertaken by a group like scientists or explorers or maybe the military for exploration. It could be for research or another specific objective.
expedition이 원정이라는 뜻이 있어서요. 탐험이라는 뜻도 있고, expedition team 하면은 원정대. 그래서 한국의 원정대가 이렇게 Sat Peak, 그 정상까지 가는 데에 최초로 성공을 했습니다. 뭐 길이길이 역사에 남겠죠. 물론 그 전에도 시도는 있었고, 특히 2022년 같은 경우에는 이탈리아의 한 원정대가 시도는 했는데 정상까지 가지는 못했다고 합니다. 자, 올라가는 거, climb도 있겠지만 ascent.
Yes,
한번
ascent.
볼까요?
Yeah, we said that they made a successful ascent. So it's the act of rising, climbing, or moving upward, either physically or you could use this in terms of progress, figuratively as well. So we can use this in terms of hiking a mountain, or when a plane is taking off, we can say that it's ascent. It's ascent as well.
ascent는 명사입니다. 그래서 올라가는 것, 등반을 얘기하고요. 또 지금 얘기하신 것처럼 이제 비행기가 고도를 높여서 올라가는 것도 ascent라고 표현할 수 있는데 스펠링이요. A-S-C-E-N-T. 강세는 뒤에 있죠. ascent. 반대로 하강, 내려가는 것은 뭐죠?
Descent.
descent.
Yeah.
이때는 스펠링이 D-E-S-C-E-N-T. descent. descent.
Descent.
강세가 네, 계속 말하다 보니까 헷갈리네요. ascent, descent. 네.
Descent.
descent.
Yeah.
네, descent.
Because we say it descended. So
그러네요.
yeah.
네네, 맞습니다. 자, 자, 그래서 여기서 뭐라고 하고 있냐면은 This is the world's first ever ascent of Sat Peak. And it was done by a Korean expedition team. 자, 다시 읽어보겠습니다. A Korean expedition team has made mountaineering history by claiming the world's first ever ascent of the Himalayas' Sat Peak, a previously unclimbed mountain standing at over 6,200 meters high in Nepal's Kachenjunga region. Let's move on to the second headline.
The head of the International Monetary Fund has warned that inflation is already picking up and the global economy could face a much worse outcome if the war in the Middle East drags into 2027.
크리스탈리나 게르기에바 IMF 총재는 인플레이션이 이미 가속화되고 있고 중동 전쟁이 내년까지 이어지며 장기화할 경우 세계 경제가 훨씬 더 나쁜 결과에 직면할 수 있다고 경고했습니다. Tell us more.
Yeah. So she's warned that the global economy could face a much worse outlook if the Middle East war drags on and oil prices rise to around $125 per barrel. She said the IMF's earlier baseline forecast is no longer realistic with a weaker growth scenario already taking hold. So the prolonged conflict could push inflation higher and destabilize expectations, especially if supply shocks intensify. So disruptions to oil and fertilizer supplies are already driving up costs, with food prices expected to follow, and officials are warning that without adjustments in demand, continued supply constraints could further strain global economies.
And announcements like this, of course, from experts, the head of the IMF no less, make it, of course, more real, and it's not just a fear, but I guess it's something we're going to have to grapple with.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the expression, it's already picking up.
Yeah. When something is picking up or when something is already picking up, it means that it's increasing in speed or energy. So in the positive sense, we could say, business is picking up. And that means
good.
business is doing well.
Yeah.
So we can use this when something is recovering or increasing speed or vigor or activity.
Business is picking up. 그러면은 이제 이 사업이 지금 탄력이 붙고 있어요. 아주 잘 되고 있어요. 근데 여기서 뭐라고 하고 있냐면은 inflation is picking up.
Yeah.
물가가 이미 지금 오름세를 타고 있습니다. 그런 얘기. 그다음에는 이제 if this whole situation in the Middle East, 중동 지역에서의 지금 이 분쟁이 if it drags into 2027, then we're going to see worse conditions with the world's economy.
Yeah.
drag라는 표현 한번 볼까요? drags into 어디?
Yeah, drags into. So it means you're kind of forcing something like a person or group or a topic or a situation into an unpleasant, complicated, or maybe even irrelevant situation against their will or unnecessarily.
To drag on 그러면은 얘기가 질질 끌면서 너무 늘어진다는 얘기예요. drag on. 근데 여기서는 이제 2027년까지 이렇게 상황이 지속되면 이라는 뜻인데요. If the situation drags into 2027 이렇게 표현을 하고 있죠. 자, 다시 읽어보겠습니다. The head of the IMF has warned that inflation is already picking up and the global economy could face a much worse outcome if the war in the Middle East drags into 2027.
Greenland's ice sheet shed a staggering 139 billion tons of ice in a single year, a loss equivalent to 1.5 times the volume of the entire Alps, as an accelerating melt grips European glaciers, according to the EU's Copernicus Climate Change Service and the World Meteorological Organization.
유럽연합의 코페르니쿠스 기후변화 서비스와 세계 기상기구가 발표한 자료에 따르면 유럽 대륙 빙하가 녹는 속도가 빨라지면서 1년 새 그린란드 빙상 중 약 1390억 톤이 사라진 것으로 보고됐습니다. 이는 알프스 전체 빙하의 1.5배에 해당하는 양입니다. Right, so tell us about the staggering amount of ice that's melting.
Yeah. So a new report from the Copernicus Climate Change Service and the World Meteorological Organization says that Europe's glaciers and Greenland's ice sheet are melting faster than expected, and scientists are warning that this trend will continue throughout the century, raising global sea levels and increasing flood risks. Just a 1 centimeter rise could impact up to 6 million people worldwide, and the Arctic, including Greenland, is warming especially quickly due to the loss of reflective ice. So in the past year alone, Greenland lost about, as we mentioned, 139 billion tons of ice, which is roughly 1.5 times the mass of all glaciers in the Alps.
Wow. All right, let's have a look at the word staggering.
Staggering. When something is staggering, it means that it's something that's so overwhelmingly great or shocking or surprising that it causes someone to stagger means to kind of like you're kind of losing your balance,
yeah.
right? When you're walking. So you're stunned.
그렇죠. 휘청휘청거리는 거가 이제 stagger 하는 거기는 해요. 내지는 약간 알딸딸할 때 똑바로 걷지 못하는
Yeah.
거. 그런 것도 stagger가 될 수 있고. 그래서 비틀거린다. 뭐 이런 의미도 될 수 있거든요. 근데 staggering이라고 하면은 내가 비틀거릴 정도로 깜짝 놀라운이라는 뜻입니다. 그래서 그 앞부분은 사실 그냥 생략하면 되고 그냥 굉장히 놀랍다.
Yes.
139 billion tons라는 이 녹아내린 빙산의 양이 어마어마하죠. 그래서 그거를 it's a surprising 139 billion tons 해도 되고 it's a shocking 139 billion tons 해도 되고요. 여기서는 staggering. Now, what about accelerating melt?
So that refers to the increasing speed at which ice sheets, glaciers, and snowpacks lose mass, transitioning from solid to liquid water faster than historical norms due to rising temperatures.
그러니까 accelerating은 속도가 빨라진다라는 뜻이고 melt라는 명사는요. 여기서 그 녹고 있는 상황을 얘기합니다. 그래서 점점 빨라지는 해빙이라고 볼 수 있겠네요. 다시 읽어볼게요. Greenland's ice sheet shed a staggering 139 billion tons of ice in a single year, a loss equivalent to 1.5 times the volume of the entire Alps, as an accelerating melt grips European glaciers, according to the EU's Copernicus Climate Change Service and the World Meteorological Organization. Let's move on to the next headline.
Pop superstar Taylor Swift has lodged 3 trademark applications to protect her voice and likeness against AI impersonations, adopting a fresh legal strategy used by celebrities to combat the growing issue of AI rip-offs.
미국의 팝스타 테일러 스위프트가 AI 기술을 활용한 모방 행위로부터 자신의 목소리와 이미지를 보호하기 위한 3가지 상표권을 출원했습니다. 이는 점점 심각해지는 AI 도용 문제를 해결하기 위해 유명 인사들이 도입하고 있는 새로운 법적 전략의 하나입니다. Alright, so loads of expressions to go over. First of all, when we say you lodge an application, another more common way to say this is to file an application.
Yeah.
그래서 이런 특허 출원을 신청하는 것이죠.
Yeah. Or you can apply for a trademark.
그래요. 상표권 출원을. 네네. 자, 그러면 좀 설명을 주시죠.
Yeah, so she's filed three three new trademark applications in the U.S. to protect her voice and image from AI impersonations. And the filings include a photo from her Eras tour and audio clips of her saying, "Hey, it's Taylor." And it's aiming to block unauthorized digital replicas.
Yeah.
And the move follows rising cases of AI-generated content featuring Taylor Swift, including fake ads and manipulated images. And they say that actor Matthew McConaughey recently took similar steps, signaling a growing trend among celebrities. And experts say these trademarks could allow Swift to challenge not just exact copies, but also AI imitations that sound or look convincingly similar.
What's an impersonation?
Impersonation is the act of pretending to be another person, either by mimicking their mannerisms for entertainment or by deceptively assuming their identity, often for fraudulent purposes.
누구 흉내를 내는 건데요. 이게 이제 범죄가 됐을 때는 사칭이 될 거고, 근데 그런 게 아니라 어떤 사람들은 업으로 유명 연예인의 흉내를 내면서 무대에 오르기도 해요.
Yeah, comedians, yeah.
그러니까 상황에 따라서 쓸 수 있는데, 물론 그렇게 좋은 업으로 삼을 때는 doing impressions
Yeah.
이렇게 얘기를 더 많이 할 것 같긴 하지만 impersonation은 내가 누구인 척을 하는 겁니다. 자, 사칭. 그래서 AI impersonations. 테일러 스위프트인 척하면서 올라오는 각종 영상들 그런 게 이제 점점 많아지죠. AI 때문에. 그리고 이런 뉴스에서 꼭 나오는 표현이 있습니다. 바로 likeness인데요. 이게 단순히 테일러 스위프트의 사진만을 말하는 게 아닙니다. 그죠? 요즘에는 다 그냥 움직이는 그런 AI figures도 나오잖아요. 진짜 영상으로.
Yeah, they're getting more real.
맞아요. 그래서 그런 모든 모습을 likeness라고 해요. 그 얼굴과 관련된 것이고 likeness라는 것 자체가 초상이나 화상을 얘기하긴 하는데 영상의 형태든 어떤 형태든지 간에 그 테일러 스위프트의 모습 그런 것을 통칭 likeness라고 하고요. 그거를 impersonating 하는 AI 기술이 점점 발달하고 있죠. 자, 그다음에 좀 특이한 표현이 하나 나옵니다.
Yeah.
They said this is not just called an AI impersonation, but also an AI rip-off.
Yeah. So you might have heard of rip-off. Like, for example, if someone bought something and if you thought that they paid a price that was too much for it, you could say, oh, it sounds like that was a rip-off.
Yeah.
So it describes maybe grossly overpriced item, or it could be a fraudulent or stolen item or a poor quality imitation of a product.
네, 두 가지 의미를 지금 언급해 주셨어요. 하나는 가격 면에서 터무니없이 비싼 거. 이거 너무 바가지잖아. 할 때 it's a rip-off 라고 할 수 있어요. 그런데 지금은 그런 얘기는 아니겠죠? 여기서는 모조품, 가짜라는 뜻입니다. 그래서 디자이너 브랜드, 명품 가방 같은 거에 rip-off가 이제 사실 굉장히 문제가 많이 되죠.
Yes.
이거 안 됩니다. 그래서 that's a rip-off 라고 얘기하면은 따라한 가짜 상품이다. knock-off라고도 하나요?
Yes.
그래요. 그렇게 표현하기도 하는데 자, 지금은 우리가 가방 얘기는 아니고 테일러 스위프트의 목소리와 이미지를 담은 따라했지만 가짜인 AI 아웃컴들, AI 프로덕트들 그런 것들을 얘기하고 있죠. 그래서 AI impersonation, AI rip-off 다 지금 같은 맥락에서 얘기를 하고 있는 거고 그런 것들로부터 자신을 좀 보호하기 위해 테일러 스위프트가 이제 상표권을 출원했다. 그전에는 마티 맥커너헤이가 굉장히 비슷한 조치를 취했다라는 뜻이고요. I bet we're going to see more Hollywood stars or singers doing the same. They're going to follow suit. 자, 그럼 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. Pop superstar Taylor Swift has lodged 3 trademark applications to protect her voice and likeness against AI impersonations, adopting a fresh legal strategy used by celebrities to combat the growing use of AI rip-offs. Now let's move on to the final headline.
A German YouTuber has shattered the Guinness World Record for the fastest time to solve a Rubik's Cube during a skydive, cracking the rotating puzzle cube in under 24 seconds while falling at 161 kilometers per hour.
독일의 한 유튜버가 스카이다이빙을 하면서 루빅스 큐브를 최단 시간에 맞춰내 이 부문 기네스 세계 기록을 경신했습니다. 그는 시속 161km로 낙하하면서 루빅스 큐브를 24초 안에 완성한 것으로 알려졌습니다. 자, 물론 이제 우리 말로는 이제 루빅 큐브 이렇게 말하기도 하는데 가운데 apostrophe s를 좀 생략하는 경우도 있지만 이게 루빅라는 사람이 만든 큐브여서 영어로는 루빅 apostrophe s 큐브 그래서 루빅스 큐브라고 하는 게 정식 명칭입니다.
That's right.
So tell us what happened.
Yeah. So this man, he's 23 years old. He set a new Guinness World Record by solving this Rubik's Cube mid-skydive in just 23.333 seconds. He completed the feat while falling at 100 miles per hour, or as we mentioned, 161 kilometers per hour over Mossel Bay, beating the previous record of 28.250 seconds. And they say that we're relatively new to skydiving, but he mastered a back flying technique.
Yes, I noticed he was sort of lying on his back.
So he wasn't going this way.
No.
He was lying on his back. And that was to reduce wind resistance and keep control of the cube.
Right, because you might drop it.
Exactly.
If you do it the other way around.
I don't know how you, this way or this way, it's hard.
It's hard, yeah.
So, and he says the trickiest part wasn't solving it, but making sure, as you mentioned, that he didn't drop it midair.
Exactly.
Yeah, and this guy, he's no stranger to extreme challenges, having also solved cubes underwater and blindfolded. And he has another challenge that he wants to complete. He says that next, he wants to try solving a Rubik's Cube while running a marathon.
Oh my goodness. I mean, on solid ground, in a normal competition venue, the record, I believe, is 3 seconds or something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can do it in a very short amount of time. But when you're faced against air pressure and you might drop it and, you know...
Can you even keep your eyes open? I don't know.
You're also sort of floating in the air, which is unnatural for humans. All these different factors make it difficult. 자, 그래요. 그래서 기존에 또 기록이 하나 있었다는 것도 놀랍고
Yes.
기존 기록은 28초였는데 이번에는 23.3333초, 그러니까 24초 정도가 걸렸습니다. 스카이다이빙이라 하면은 보통 우리가 이제 아래를 내다보면서 스카이다이빙 한다고 많이 생각하잖아요.
Flying, right?
날다람쥐처럼. 그런데 이 지금 텀 컵케는 누워서 스카이다이빙을 일단은 합니다. 그래서 저도 그 영상을 봤는데 기체에서 뛰어내린 다음에 일단은 누운 자세로 계속 하강을 하고 있는데 그 다음에 몸에 여러 가지 그 스카이다이빙 장치들이 있기는 해요. 그래서 지금 말한 것처럼 161 kilometers per hour로 내려가지만 그래도 그나마 좀 공중에 떠 있는 상태입니다. 이것도. 그러면서 이제 배 위에다가 루빅스 큐브를 놓고 이렇게 쳐다보면서 이렇게 누워서 해요. 24초 만에 하고 트리키한 게 뭐냐면 좀 어려운 점이 이 25초인가 지나면은 패러슈트가 딱 열린대요. 근데 그거 하기 전에 다 끝내야 되는 겁니다. 왜냐면 패러슈트가 열리는 순간 몸이 또 다시 뒤집어져요. 그러면 또 루빅스 큐브 떨어뜨릴 수 있고. 그 여러 가지 얼마나.
Oh my goodness.
저는 보면서도 사실 손에 좀 땀이 나더라고요. 저 떨어뜨리면 어떡해 했는데 성공해냈습니다. He shattered a record.
When you shatter something, it can be quite literal, physical, because when you shatter a glass, shatter a cup, it means to break. But it can be figurative, as in this case, when you break a record. And when something shatters, it means that it breaks suddenly and violently into many small pieces. But when you use it figuratively, it can mean that you've broken a record, but you can also maybe break the hope of someone or break the confidence of someone or break someone's reputation or break someone's illusion. So it can be used in a negative sense as well.
그러니까 너무 신기한 거는 우리도 기록을 깨다, 꿈을 깨다 이런 식으로 깬다는 동사를 쓰잖아요.
Yeah.
이게 영어에서 온 건지 아니면 그냥 똑같은 생각을 동서양에서 해서
I
생겨난
wonder,
표현인지
right?
그
Yeah.
어원은 제가 잘 모르겠지만 둘 다 break, 깨다를 쓴다는 거는 굉장히 흥미로워요. 그냥 언어학의 그런 측면에서 바라봤을 때는. 자, 그래서 기록을 깨다의 원래 표현은 break a record인데 break의 또 다른 조금 더 드라마틱한 표현으로 이게 완전히 이제 박살내다라는 shatter를 쓴 거예요. 그 의미는 그냥 기록을 깨다인데 그거보다 좀 더 강렬한 느낌으로 썼다. 이렇게 볼 수 있겠고.
Yeah.
자, 그다음에 crack a puzzle.
Yep, crack a puzzle. So it means to successfully solve a difficult problem, riddle, mystery, or a challenge, and often after significant thought, effort, or ingenuity.
네. 이 문제를 풀다. 영어로는 crack a puzzle. 이라고 합니다. 그래서 crack a code, 암호를 풀 때도 이 동사를 써요. crack. 우리가 crack를 또 언제 쓰죠? 우리 프라이팬에다가 뭐
Crack open an egg.
crack
yeah.
an egg.
Yeah.
그렇죠. 이겁니다. 우리 계란을 깨서 fried egg, 뭐 scrambled egg 만들 때 그때도 crack를 쓰긴 하는데 원래는 이제 부러뜨리다라는 뜻이지만 문제도 마치 어떤 단단한 무언가였는데 그것을 깨서 연 것처럼 문제 풀다 crack a quiz, not quiz, sorry, crack a puzzle
Yep.
or crack a code 이렇게 표현을 하기도 합니다. Right. Let me read it one more time. A German YouTuber has shattered the Guinness World Record for the fastest time to solve a Rubik's Cube during a skydive, cracking the rotating puzzle cube in under 24 seconds while falling at 161 kilometers per hour. Well, that's it for the headlines this morning with Karen Choi.
Fine dust levels in the capital have dropped significantly over the past 2 decades, with the annual number of clean air days defined as having ultrafine dust levels below 15 micrograms per cubic meter, more than doubling from 73 in 2006 to 182 last year.
서울 지역 미세먼지 농도가 지난 20년 사이 크게 감소했으며 초미세먼지 농도가 1세제곱미터당 15 마이크로그램 이하인 초미세먼지 좋음 일수는 2006년 73일에서 지난해 182일로 2배 이상 늘어난 것으로 집계됐습니다. So it looks like all those government policies of making transportation more eco-friendly, that's paid off.
Absolutely. And yeah, one of the big things that they're looking at is the de-dieselization
Yeah.
of the bus
Buses,
fleets
yeah.
in Seoul, as well as, diesel cars. They're trying to get rid of diesel cars, which seems to be helping as well. I actually had like an older diesel car where they're saying, okay, you have to upgrade your engine and spend this much money to do it, or you're not going to be allowed to drive in certain areas of Seoul. So they actually paid us a certain amount of money to compensate, to basically say, okay, if you're not going to upgrade, then we'll pay you a certain amount of money to basically have your car destroyed.
Exactly. 선생님이 이걸 직접 또 경험하셨군요.
Yeah.
그래서 폐차를 하셨어요?
Yes.
그래요. 이게 무슨 얘기냐면은 노후 경유차 폐차하기 위한 보조금을 선생님이 받아서 폐차를 하셨군요. 그런 정책과 더불어서 이제 버스 같은 경우에는 경유버스가 예전에 많이 있었는데 이제 천연가스를 이용하는 압축 천연가스 CNG를 이용하는 버스 그리고 전기 버스들이 많이 도입됐죠. 지난 20년 사이. 그래서 여러 가지 교통수단을 좀 더 eco-friendly, 친환경적으로 만들고자 하는 노력들이 20년간 축적이 돼서 이제 진짜 체감상으로도 미세먼지가 좀 덜 느껴지는 것 같아요. 실제 이제 데이터를 봐도 그렇습니다. 20년 전인 2006년에는 그 초미세먼지 좋음 일수가 1년에 73일 정도밖에 되지 않았는데 이제는 182일로 엄청 많이 들었어요.
You know, I don't know if this was factored into to the measurements as well, but I do remember in the news during COVID that levels were like the best ever.
Yes, because no one was going out.
Yeah, no one was going
driving.
out. And also from China as well, because so many people in China...
They weren't working.
Yeah, they weren't working. All the factories were shut down and stuff. So, because a lot of the stuff that we get is also coming from the wind blowing over from China and Manchuria, the yellow dust. Yeah, all of that sort of stuff as well. So I'm sure to a certain degree, the numbers during COVID or the pandemic might have factored into the recent numbers as well.
I'm sure you'll know this because you and I, we both use our voices, and so we're very sensitive when it comes to how scratchy our voices can become. About 20 years ago, there were days when you would just walk out and all of a sudden it feels like you swallowed a cup of sand or something. It's like,
you could literally taste the air.
Taste it.
Oh, yes, I do remember
Not anymore,
those.
though.
Yeah, it has
very rarely.
Yes, very different for sure.
맞습니다. 자, 그래요. 저희도 지금 많이 체감을 하고 있고 선생님은 또 이렇게 차도 바꾸셨군요. 좀 더 친환경적인 차로. Alright, let's have a look at something is defined as blah blah blah.
So defined, the word is related to a definition, right? And a definition is what a word means. For something to be defined as something, it's sort of what people know it to be meant for, or what it's meant to mean. So it doesn't have to be like the actual formal, like dictionary description of something, but it can be kind of like a loose understanding of what we know it to be as well. So it's kind of used a little more loosely than, let's say, a definition.
Okay.
But in the same sort of way, it's kind of like what we understand a meaning to be.
Defined as something. 뭐뭐로 정의되는. 그래서 이제 우리말로는 초미세먼지 좋음 일수라는 게 있고요. 또 반대로 초미세먼지 나쁨 일수라는 게 있는데 이게 그냥 우리가 오늘 초미세먼지 좋은 것 같다 이런 게 당연히 아니겠죠. 데이터상으로 봤을 때 초미세먼지가 이제 1세제곱미터당 15 마이크로그램 이하일 때는 우리가 초미세먼지 좋음이라고 표현을 하고요. 그 다음에는 이제 상당히 훨씬 더 높은 수준일 때는 I forget the exact number, but the opposite would be true for 초미세먼지 나쁨 일수. I believe it's let's have a look. I think it was something like over 30 or something. I'll have to double check that one. 그래요. Nonetheless, let's have a look at the next expression, which is more than double.
More than double, we're talking about an amount, and anytime you're doubling something, then it is 2x to what it was. So if you are more than double, then let's say you had 5 of something before, then it means that, well, it's more than 10 now. So it'd be like anything 11, 12, or anything above that.
그래요. More than double, 그럼 2배 이상이라는 뜻이 되겠죠. I do want to correct myself there. So if it's anywhere between 0 and 15 micrograms per 1 cubic meter, then it's 좋음, as we said earlier on, so under 15. And then you have 보통, which is between 16 and 35 micrograms per 1 cubic meter. And if you want to call the air quality bad, then you're looking at 36 to 75. So that's a big range there. And then we also have the 매우 나쁨 category, which is over 76.
Wow.
So, some days if we do ever get like 매우 나쁨, then you want to definitely wear a mask or not go out.
Yeah.
자, more than double, more than triple, 다 사용해도 되겠죠. 그 표현까지 살펴봤고 다시 읽어보겠습니다. Fine dust levels in the capital have dropped significantly over the past 2 decades, with the annual number of clean air days defined as having ultrafine dust levels below 15 micrograms per cubic meter, more than doubling from 73 in 2006 to 182 last year. Let's move on to the next headline.
Consumer prices in April jumped by the biggest margin since July 2024 amid global oil price hikes stemming from the Middle East crisis, according to the Ministry of Data and Statistics.
국가 데이터처 자료에 따르면 중동 전쟁으로 인한 국제 유가 상승 추세에 따라 지난달 우리나라 소비자 물가가 2024년 7월 이후 가장 큰 폭으로 오른 것으로 나타났습니다. Alright, let's talk about consumer prices.
Yeah, so consumer prices, things that we spend money on for daily use or weekly use or just, to get by in our normal lives, prices are going up, and no surprise that the biggest reason for the jump is petroleum prices for the most part. 21.9% jump when it comes to petroleum prices. That is the largest increase since July of 2022 when there was a 35.2% jump. That was after the start of the Russia-Ukraine war. And it's not just the actual prices of the petroleum, but it's also those are affecting other industries as well. So as an example, airfare has jumped 15.9%. And of course, the reason airfare is going up is again because of the gas prices.
Exactly. 우리 유류세가 많이 올랐다라는 소식 얼마 전에도 전해드렸는데 이것도 다 중동 전쟁과 관련이 있죠. 항공 가격이 올랐다. 그럴 때는 the airfare has risen. The airfare has gone up. A-I-R-F-A-R-E. 그리고 거기서 붙는 그 유류세는 I think it was called the fuel tax of the airplanes.
Yeah.
자, 그다음에 다시 consumer prices, 소비자 물가로 돌아와서요. It's jumped by the biggest margin in a while.
Yeah, something has jumped up, then it has gone up by an amount. And what amount are we talking about? Well, it's a margin, like something that's a margin. You're talking about a boundary, let's say from point A to point B. It's kind of like the zone or the area that we're talking about. So it doesn't say exactly what the margin is in terms of the article. But we're talking about sort of a thing that has a boundary from one side to another, from here to there, sort of a thing. If you have like a document or you're writing something on the computer, then your article or you're writing on a piece of paper, maybe on the computer screen, you're going to have a margin, a left margin and a right margin. So this is the area or the zone that all of your work is within on your piece of paper.
그렇죠. 우리가 뭔가 프린트할 때 보면은 위, 아래, 옆에 다 이렇게 일종의 여백을 두고 프린팅을 하잖아요. 그런 여백들도 다 마진이라고 볼 수 있고, 그리고 제가 직접 경험하면서 굉장히 특이하다라고 느낀 거는 문방구에 가면은 한국의 공책들은 대부분 그냥 이렇게 딱 펼치면은 줄이 있죠. 뭐 줄이 없는 공책도 있을 수 있지만, 근데 왼쪽에 마진이 따로 그어져 있는 공책은 찾기 힘들어요. 한국에서는. 외국에서 온 공책들은 그런 게 있지만 한국 공책들은 왼쪽에 세로로 된 이 마진을 따로 두고 있는 공책들이 잘 없더라고요. 그런데 서양에서 그런 스테이셔너리 숍, 문구점에서 파는 공책들은 예전에, 요즘에 공책 쓰는지 모르겠지만 예전에 서양 공책들은 왼쪽에 세로선으로 이렇게 마진이 하나 그어져 있어서
there's one line that goes
맞아요.
down.
그래서 필기는 오른쪽에다가 넓은 칸에다가 하고 그 왼쪽 칸에다가는 뭐 추가 노트라든지 아니면 그냥 scribbling 가끔 조금 이제 뭐 낙서도 좀 하기도 하고 뭐라 그래야 되지? 진짜 마음의 여백 거기에다가 표현하기도 했었어요.
And we also use the term like a margin for error.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, meaning that it's like an extra amount that that we might be off by, that we might not be exactly perfect. So we might say that, there might be a 5% margin for error, meaning that, it could be up or down by 5% in terms of our predictions or the numbers that we're giving you.
You always have to say what the margin of error is when you give out, statistics, especially on TV or radio, if it's the news. 우리가 어떤 데이터를 얘기할 때, 방송뿐만 아니라 신문에서도 마찬가지죠. 이런 데이터가 있는데 오차 범위 플러스 마이너스 2% 뭐 이런 식으로 말을 하잖아요. 그 오차 범위가 a margin for error. 이렇게 되죠. Margin for error. Is it margin of? No, margin for
Margin
error.
for,
For error. 맞습니다. 자, margin에서 나왔는데 jumped by the biggest margin은 가장 큰 폭으로 상승했다. 하이크도 인상이죠? 급등?
Yeah, when you think of going hiking, you're usually hiking, let's say, up a mountain,
Yeah.
then you're going up. So if you're hiking a price or you're hiking something, then it means that that is going up in amount or number.
네, 명사입니다. 인상 급등. 다시 읽어볼게요. Consumer prices in April jumped by the biggest margin since July 2024 amid global oil price hikes stemming from the Middle East crisis, according to the Ministry of Data and Statistics.
Global crude inventories fell by approximately 200 million barrels last month in the aftermath of the Middle East war, triggering warnings of a potential price surge ahead of the summer travel season.
중동 전쟁 여파로 지난 4월 한 달간 전 세계 원유 재고가 약 2억 배럴 감소한 것으로 추정됨에 따라 여름철 여행 성수기를 앞두고 유가가 지금보다 더 오를 수 있다는 경고가 나오고 있습니다. This is the warning coming out of every country right now.
Yes, absolutely. Stockpile, I guess, or the inventory of crude that people have, it's diminishing. And because of that, supply and demand is going to become an issue. And as mentioned, when it comes to summertime and airfare travels and things like that, I think we're going to see a lot of crazy prices this summer.
Yeah, exactly. Some people are saying you have to buy the tickets now. In fact, it's probably little bit late.
It could be.
Yeah, if you bought it earlier on, as some people do, then good for you. But it's just going to get pricier.
Yes, especially airfare.
Yes. Let's have a look at crude inventories.
Crude, we're talking about oil in not its purest form, but I guess its basic form when it's discovered. So when we have oil and it's pumped out of the ground or wherever it comes from, it's like that dark black thing. And that is then refined into, gasoline and diesel and rocket fuel and all these different other things that we use it for out of that one first substance. Now, we're talking about crude inventories, and when it comes to inventories, it's we're talking about how much stock you have left or how much of that you have kind of set aside to be used later on.
Yeah, exactly. crude라는 거는 원유를 얘기하고 있습니다. crude라는 단어 자체가 무언가의 그 날것의 상태를 얘기하거든요. 그 다음에 이제 inventories는 재고량이에요. 그래서 원유의 재고, crude inventories.
We often talk about inventories with stores that sell, let's say, clothing or commercial items. Then you might look around and maybe they don't have your size. Then the worker, the employee might say, oh, let me see if we have that in our inventory somewhere else. Yeah. And they'll kind of check their computer and see if they might have some stuff in the back or maybe at another store. So they have it maybe somewhere else in another form.
재고량이 있는지 한번 확인해 볼게요. Let me check that to see if it's in our inventories. 이렇게 표현할 수 있겠군요. 자, in the aftermath of something.
Aftermath is kind of after something is over, and then you kind of calculate things. And, you might look at how many people were injured or casualties from a situation. That's kind of like the math or the accounting after something bad happened. But you're basically talking about after something has passed, then you kind of look at what the situation is after that.
그렇죠. 무엇의 여파로 라는 뜻으로 in the aftermath of something. 다시 읽어보겠습니다. Global crude inventories fell by approximately 200 million barrels last month in the aftermath of the Middle East war, triggering warnings of a potential price surge ahead of the summer travel season. Now let's move on to the fourth headline.
Corporate bankruptcies in Western Europe rose to their highest level on record in 2025, the fourth consecutive annual increase since records began in 2002, signaling a structural economic downturn.
자, 작년 서유럽의 기업 파산 건수가 관련 집계를 시작한 2002년 이래 최고치이자 4년 연속 증가한 수치를 보임에 따라 이것이 구조적인 경기 침체를 시사한다는 분석이 나왔습니다. What do we know?
Well, we know that the sharpest increase in the region was recorded in Switzerland, where cases actually jumped 35.3%, largely due to a legal change at the start of 2025 that kind of tightened enforcements of public claims and it lowered the effective threshold for insolvencies in particular. So, obviously Western Europe, for the most part, they're all going through some economic downturn. But in particular, I guess Switzerland has been the largest sufferers.
스위스가 또 큰 타격을 받은 국가군요. 자, 표현을 좀 보자면은 we're looking at corporate bankruptcies.
So with corporate, we're talking about larger companies. So it's not personal bankruptcy or maybe like a small mom and pop shop. We're talking about bigger companies that might have multiple stores or deal in larger amounts of money.
자, 여기서 형용사로 쓰인 corporate는요, 기업의라는 뜻이 되고 뒤에 나온 bankruptcy가 파산이니까 기업 파산입니다. Corporate bankruptcies. If you signal something, what does that mean?
If you signal something, then you're showing a sign of something to come.
Yeah.
So it's like when you see, oh, this is happening, therefore it might be like a precursor or an indication that something else might happen quickly.
When we drive, we have to signal or indicate that we're turning left or right before we do it to avoid an accident. And this seems like common sense, but I remember when my kids were younger, they asked me, why do you turn the blinkers on? And I said, because the cars behind me need to know in advance that I'm going to turn left or right or whatever so that we don't get in an accident.
Yeah.
Because if I don't signal that I'm going to make a turn, and if I just do it, it's very dangerous. And then they went,
And you might also signal to people physically with things as well. Like I can give you the thumbs up, yep, I'm okay. Or if you're across the street and I'll wave, then I'm signaling to you, hey, can you see me? Hi,
exactly.
Sue. So there's different things that we might do to kind of get your attention while we're signaling to you as well.
Exactly. And people who watch me on Boynan Radio might sometimes notice I do sort of this or this. And I'm probably... I do want to say thumbs up to our listeners, but it's not just that. What it actually is that I have a monitor in front of me and I'm communicating constantly with the staff outside and I'm just signaling that I understand, that I know what's happening and, I will speed up or slow down and things like that. All right. Well, here's the headline again. Corporate bankruptcies in Western Europe rose to their highest level on record in 2025, the fourth consecutive annual increase since records began in 2002, signaling a structural economic downturn. Now here's our final headline.
The flames of Turkmenistan's gates to hell, a natural gas field that has been burning since 1971, appear to be on the decline as recent infrared imaging reveals that heat intensity has plummeted by more than 75% over the last 3 years.
1971년부터 지금까지 계속 불타고 있는 투르크메니스탄의 천연가스전, 일명 지옥의 문의 불길이 점차 사그라드는 것으로 보입니다. 이는 최근 적외선 영상을 통해 이곳 화염의 열 강도가 지난 3년 사이 75% 이상 급감한 것으로 관찰됐기 때문입니다. Tell us more.
Yeah, so if you've seen the pictures or videos of this place, I remember seeing this on YouTube as one of those places where it says, 10 places in the world you wouldn't believe exist. And this place kind of comes up and it shows like this big hole in the ground that is on fire.
Yeah.
Where there's constantly like flames coming out of this place. And it's kind of known as the gates to hell. And it's been burning since 1971. They say it goes back to when the Soviets were drilling for oil there. They hit a natural gas deposit, and in order to make it safer, because the natural gas would just escape, and you don't want natural gas being in the area because it can kill things. They lit it on fire, I guess, and it's been burning ever since.
와우, 이 닉네임이 정말 무시무시해요. Gates to hell. 직역으로 번역을 한다면은 지옥으로 가는 뭐 그런 문.
It's a large hole too, by the way.
그러니까요. 우리말로는 물론 이제 지옥의 문이라고 부르는데 그런 게 연상이 될 정도로 좀 무서운 천연가스전인데 그곳에 불길이 많이 줄어들었다고 합니다. Okay, let's have a look at on the decline.
On the decline means that it's going down. So the number of something could be going down, or something's popularity could be going down. In this case, it's saying that the heat in the area is going down.
네, 뭔가가 감소 추세일 때 내려가고 있어요. It is on the decline. 반대로 그러면은 it's on the increase 할 수 있어요? 그렇게 잘 안 하나요?
It's going up, I guess. I mean, earlier we talked about a hike, right?
Okay, yeah.
So it could be like temperatures are hiking up. You could say, as we mentioned before.
좋아요.
On the decline, I guess, I mean, it'd be the incline. The decline.
그렇게는 잘 안 하는 것 같긴 해요. 그렇죠?
We don't really say that, though.
알았습니다. 자, 그다음에는 이제 적외선 영상인데요. Infrared imaging.
Yeah, infrared imaging is, I guess, a picture, or when you look at something with a heat chart to show how hot something is. And I think we probably saw a lot of this at the start or during COVID when people would have infrared imaging to check our body temperatures when we entered certain buildings. And if we were too hot, it looked like we might have a fever of some sort, it'd be like, oh, wait a minute, you can't enter this building because you're too hot. So, infrared imaging is when you can look at something and you'll see the image as heat patterns of your body and stuff like that. So you can recognize how hot something is.
적외선은 우리말 영어로 infrared고요. 자외선은 영어로 infra purple이 아니라 ultraviolet예요. 완전히 다른 단어입니다. 그래서 자외선은 ultraviolet. 그래서 우리가 UV rays라고 하잖아요. 그게 바로 자외선입니다. ultraviolet rays. 그 다음에 이제 적외선을 이용한 그것은 infrared, 그리고 영상이니까 imaging. 자, 다시 읽어보겠습니다. The flames of Turkmenistan's gates to hell, a natural gas field that's been burning since 1971, appear to be on the decline, as recent infrared imaging reveals that heat intensity has plummeted by more than 75% over the last 3 years. All right, well, that's it for the headlines with Jason Lee.